engineering?
Yes, sir.
Which year?
Now we are going to come in third.
Now you're going to get into third year. Okay,
Yes, so the collaboration with XLR was an excellent one. We conducted a Power BI workshop with Advanced Excel over a span of 3 days. The workshop was almost 12 hours long in total. Mr. Karthik, who was an amazing trainer, helped the students understand the concepts deeply. I am sure that the students will be able to apply these concepts in their careers as well as their daily lives.
The trainer, Mr. Karthik, was an excellent person where he explained in very detailed manner on how to give great insights using very complex data sets.
So it was a machine learning workshop. We learned a lot from the course and it was a great experience attending the workshop.
The trainer was very helpful. He had a hands-on approach with his teaching and it was fabulous.
This was a great experience for me. So I would absolutely love it if XLR and its team would come again to our campus and conduct more events like this.
It was a great course and it started from basics and took me to a great extent.
The experience of the workshop was really nice. The feedback from all the students was positive. They understood the concept. The workshop was also practical based with some questions. The experience with XLR was very smooth. They helped us in conducting the workshop smoothly right from the booking of the vendor and deciding the course till the distribution of certificates. In overall, this workshop was a success during our Technical Fest Atmos, and I thank XLR for being a part of it.
was very much interested in learning digital marketing course for a very long period of time, but I don't get a proper platform. So later from our college, I get to know about XLR and I enrolled in XLR course. It was really good experience. Our course has been taken by Mayur sir, and he was very good teacher. He not only focusing on theory part, he is doing how real digital marketing works, and it was in total very good experience. I get so much of knowledge. Here they're not only focusing on study, they're also conducting different exams to test our knowledge. And as we are giving the exam, so to appreciate our work, they give certificates for the toppers, and along with the certificate they give hampers. Thank you, XLR.
Recently, I was searching for digital marketing courses online in Google, and I came across XLR, and I attended a digital marketing course which was for 15 days. My mentor Mayur helped me for attending these classes. So he is a very informative and helpful guy. In the course end, there is a exam which I topped, so I came to the XLR office in Bengaluru. This digital marketing course has helped my career and my skills to develop, and the certificate has helped my company to join. Thank you, XLR.
I came to know about this course from my college. Actually, for learning platform, this is very nice, and I learned from here ChatGPT and AI from online. Because he's teaching for me for AI generative and ChatGPT. We are using this technology in more. And after finishing the courses, I came for collecting the certificate. I seen the classrooms and faculties. Classroom is very nice. After the completion of exam, they will give gift and certificates. Thank you, XLR, for giving these courses. I learned a lot from this. I gained the more knowledge from here. And thank you for XLR for teaching us.
Hello guys, I'm Vikram Mahajan and I'm studying in Swami Vivekananda Institute of Technology College, and I came across a training program which was mobile app development using Flutter, which was given to us by XLR Solutions. I came across this program through my college faculty, who told us about this program, that it is a very good course and you should enroll in this course. So I enrolled in this course, and initially I felt really good about this course because they started everything from a very basic point of view, that even if someone who doesn't know anything about Flutter or anything about mobile app development can also learn the same way the ones who know about it are learning. So no student was left behind and everyone was given equal attention. All the doubts throughout the course were cleared, and if we had any questions also, we were like, the trainer was also ready to stay for a longer time than it was scheduled, even for the sake of doubts. So that shows how important the students are to them. So it was a really good experience with XLR's program, and by the end of the training program, I was able to develop my own application. And through the development also, there was another point. Yeah, so our sir taught us about how we can connect our own mobile phone, laptop, and write code in our laptop, and you can see the output in your phone. It's just really creative and interesting for me. I felt really good about that. So in the end, I developed my own mobile application. I showed it to my mother, I showed it to my friends. I felt really good about it. So I would really suggest XLR. I would recommend it to all my friends to take courses from here, as they focus on the children, focus on the students, and they focus on what's necessary, that is the students' doubts gets cleared and everything else. So today I came down to the XLR office to collect my certificate. So I got to know about what other courses XLR is offering. It included data analysis, data analyst,
Yeah. Hey guys, good evening to everyone. I hope I'm audible. Can someone confirm? Yeah. Thank you for your confirmation. Yeah. So let's start our session. So before I start, yesterday we have discussed. Let me recap what we have discussed in last class. In last class, we have discussed about what is mean by namespace, how we can able to divide a single cluster into multiple namespaces, and also how we can able to write a pod, how we can able to deploy a pod, how we can able to create a pod, how we can able to create namespace, then how we can able to write a YAML file for pod, what is mean by imperative style, what is mean by declarative style, and all these things yesterday class we have discussed. So before I start the next topic, anyone having any questions? Yesterday I didn't give the time to you to ask any questions. So here I am waiting for your questions. You can use chat box, you can text your question in the chat box, I will answer your questions. Regarding yesterday topics, yesterday concepts, anyone having any questions, any issues, please let me know in the chat box. I will help you to clear your questions. Yesterday we have discussed namespace, imperative style, declarative style, YAML file, pod, and all these things. So regarding this, anyone having any questions, please, yeah. Is there a limit to the number of pods per namespace? No, there is no any limit. But you have to go with resource name, resource as per what is the resource, so how much resource you are using for the cluster. So based upon the cluster level resources, you have to go with the number of pods. But actually, there is no any limit number of pods per namespace. Next, others, any questions? Yeah, so it only depends on the hardware resources available. Yes. Any other questions from others? Rushikesh, can you mute your mic? Rushikesh, mute your mic. How many types are there to write YAML files? Only one. Only one type of YAML file is there. Tell me about Killer Coda. See, Killer Coda is a platform where you can able to get free labs, Kubernetes free labs. That's it. Just open the new browser, open the new tab on your browser. Just type Killer Coda free labs. Then hit the enter. You click on the first link. Then choose playgrounds. Then choose second lab. Then sign in using your Google Mail, Gmail ID, or GitHub lab, GitHub account, or GitLab, whatever you want. That's it. So no questions, right? So let me share my screen. Let's start our session. See, in today's class, yesterday we have discussed about how to create pod, then how to create a pod in custom namespace. We have done two things. Firstly, we have created our pod in default namespace. Then secondly, second pod, we have created a pod that in our own namespace. So today, let me move on next topic. So let me share my screen. Yeah. So let me launch one real-time cluster. So let me launch one cluster. I have created one virtual machine. I have chosen Ubuntu operating system for the virtual machines. So let me connect my virtual machine. Already we know about how to create a cluster. So I don't know. That's why I'm not going to explaining. Just let me create the cluster. Which key pair? Mohan created this. Okay. See, whenever you want to create any cluster, you should need one virtual machine. Then on top of the virtual machine, you should install a kubectl. You should install kubectl. You should install ekctl. You should install AWS CLI, and you have to configure. You have to create IAM rules. So creating IAM after creating the IAM rules, you have to attach those IAM rules to your virtual machines. But today I'm not going to creating any virtual machines. I'm going to using AWS access keys. So both will work. IAM rules will work. AWS access keys also will work. So let me get commands. I have a commands, ready-made commands. I don't need to go to the websites getting the commands. There is a prepared commands are there. Let me connect. Yeah. Let me open this file. So these are the commands. So here, if you look at the screen, install kubectl, then install ekctl, then install AWS CLI. So that means I'm going to copying all these commands. So you can run all these commands at a time. You don't need to execute one by one. For that, you have to understand about shell script files. See, whenever you want to execute anything, whenever you want to run anything, whenever you want to install anything, you can keep all those commands in a single file named shell script. So after keeping all your commands inside the shell script file, then by using a single command, you can run your shell script file. Then whatever the commands you have defined inside the shell script file, every command will be installed. All ekctl, kubectl, AWS will be installed by using the single command. So that is the power of shell script. So let me explain how we can able to create a file to store all commands by using the shell script file. So the name it could be anything. The name you can give whatever you want. The kts-install. So then mention dot, then type sh. See, sh stands for shell. So once you create the file will be open. Remember, file name you can give whatever you want. That the file should end with .sh. It is a syntax. So then only your file will be considered as a shell script file. Now hit the enter. File has been created. Let me press to become as insert. Let me press I to become as insert mode. Now give right click. See, all commands has been pasted. So let me close :WQ. If you give ls, file has been created. If you want to see the commands, do cat command for this command for this file. See, all commands has been saved inside the file. Now you need to run this YAML file. Now you need to run this shell script file. So how can you run the shell script file? Let me explain. Whenever you want to run this shell script file, you need to give some executable permissions. That means you have to change the file permissions. So whenever you want to change any file permission, what is the command? Chmod, then 700, chmod 700, then mention the file name. If you give the now at the enter, if I give ls, I can see file name has been changed. If you want is the permission, ls-lrt, then mention the file name, hit the enter. So you can see read permission is there, write permission is there, execute permission is there for the root user. So for this root user, I given read permission, write permission, execute permission for this file. So that's why file color has been changed. So now we can run this YAML file. Now we can run this shell script file. So how can you run? What is the command? Simple. Mention dot, give /, then mention the file name. That's it. Now hit the enter. Now it is going to see. It is going to install in firstly it will install kubectl, then it will install ekctl, then it will install AWS CLI. See version, kubectl version I can see. Client version is available, customized version is available. ekctl is installed. Now it is going to installing AWS CLI. It is going to installing AWS CLI. Yeah. See. AWS CLI. It's done. Now check AWS space version. See version is available. So now I don't want to create IAM roles. So that's why I'm going with AWS access keys. So whenever you want to configure AWS access keys, this is the command AWS space configure. So go to the Excel sheet. Let me get AWS access keys. Don't get confused. IAM roles also fine. Keys also fine. Hit the enter. Now copy the secret access key. Go to the server, give right click. So now it is asking region name. That means in which region your instance has been created. So let me get my region name. What is my region name? Let me get AP-Northeast 1. So this is my region name. Come to the server, provide the region name, hit the enter. So default output format, no need to type anything, hit the enter. That's it. So now we can create the cluster. So how can we create the cluster? What is the command? The command is ekctl create cluster -name, provide a name to your cluster. So my cluster name is KDS7 cluster. Then specify the region name. So what is my region name? This region name. Here, which region you have given, same name only here it will give. Then specify two availability zones. Same, simple. Provide the region name, just add letter A. Then give comma. Again, provide your region name, add letter B. That's it. So this is how you can able to define availability zones. Then you need to provide a node group name. So let me provide a node group name, KDS-node group. This is my node group name. Then node type. That means worker nodes will use instances. So that means which instance type you want to use for creating worker nodes. I want to use T2 medium. Then how many nodes you want? -, nodes. If you want 2 nodes, mention number 2. If you want 3, mention 3. 4, mention 4. 5, mention 5. Like that. Now I want 3 nodes. This is the command ekctl create cluster -name. Provide a name to the cluster. Then region name -zones. Just add letter A, letter B to your region. It will be act as a availability zone. Then -node group -name. Provide a name for your node group to maintaining your worker nodes. Then -node type. That means which instance type you want to use for creating worker nodes. That is all about T2 medium. Then -nodes. Then mention the number. Now hit the enter. So now it is going to creating the cluster. It will take around 10 to 15 minutes. Meanwhile, let us discuss. Go to the flowchart. Let's continue our restaurant analogy. Yesterday we have discussed one restaurant analogy. Today also we'll continue the same restaurant analogy topic. Yeah. So here yesterday we have stopped. So let me continue. See, I know already we have discussed there is a restaurant, there is a chef. The chef responsibility is to preparing the food, and the food will be served to the customer. So similarly, there is a cluster, there is a pod. This chef role will be played by the pod. So what is the main purpose of pod? To run the application. So user can able to access the application. That's it. So now this is all about yesterday's class. So there is a requirement. So let me come to here. See, here we have one chef. Just assume here we have one chef. So just the chef capacity is one chef can prepare food for 100 customers. See, one chef can prepare food for 100 customers only. 100 customers only. 100 customers only. So that means there is a restaurant. The restaurant has one chef. The one chef capacity is to prepare. The one chef can prepare only food for 100 customers only. But unfortunately, around 300 users, 300 customers visited the restaurants. That means, unfortunately, one fine day, 300 customers visited the restaurant. Then what will happen? You can use the chart box. Then answer my question. The chef responsible, the chef capacity is only he can prepare only food for 100 customers. Then what about whenever 300 customers will visit the restaurant, then what will happen? The chef can prepare food for 300 customers or not? It is possible or not? If possible, how? If not possible, what will happen? You can use the chat box. Yeah. Don't talk about pod. Just talk about restaurant analogy. I'm talking about restaurant analogy. See here, there is a one chef. The one chef capacity is the one chef can prepare food for only for 100 customers. But one fine day, 300 customers are visited the restaurant. Then what will happen? Is restaurant hire more chefs? Yeah, that's it. That's that is the answer. Okay, hire more chefs. Okay, if you don't hire more chefs, what will happen? Divide work. Okay, chef will not accept more than the 100 hours. Okay, fine. Thanks for your responses. For suppose, if the restaurant management will not hire more chefs, what will happen? 200 in waiting. So then how 200 customers, what is the feeling of 200 customers? What is the feeling of remaining waitlisted 200 customers? They ignored. Okay, they ignored. Take time to complete order. Okay, so that means, let me take freehand. See, that means whenever if restaurant don't want to hire, only timely basis work can be done. Okay, thanks for your responses. For suppose, based upon the restaurant demand, if restaurant won't hire more chefs, what will happen? See the extra, the whatever the how many customers are came to the restaurant. So the remaining 200 customers definitely will go to the another restaurant. So what will happen here? The restaurant is going to losing the customers. The restaurant is going to losing their business. Restaurant is going to losing that restaurant revenue. So if restaurant don't want lose the customers, they don't want lose their business, if they don't want lose their revenue, what will have what they have to do? They have to hire more chefs. Okay, let me hire more chefs. So definitely restaurant management has to hire more chefs to handle their restaurant demand, to handle their restaurant demand. So let me hire two more chefs. So here we have three chefs. So can we give a name to these three chefs? We can give a group of chefs. So we will call them group of chefs. Group of chefs. So now let me come to the Kubernetes analogy. So just assume there is application. My application is running. My application is running only inside one pod only. So this pod, the pod capacity is one pod can manage only 100 users traffic. One pod can manage only 100 user traffic. But unfortunately, 300 users are accessing my application. 300 users are trying to accessing my application. That means, unfortunately, one fine day, 300 user traffic is coming to my application. So then what will happen? Answer the question. What will happen? Traffic. Okay. So system will become slow. That means we are going to getting application downtime. We are going to getting application downtime. See, whenever any application goes down, whenever any application getting down, so what will happen? Customers or users will switch to the other application. They don't want to use this application because of this application is going down frequently, because that is the reason only, that is the reason only customers will switch to the another application. So to if application, if the company or if the application owner or application client don't want lose the users, don't want lose the business, don't want lose their revenue, they have to find out the solution. As restaurant hired more chefs. So similarly, whenever you don't want to get any application downtime, you have to maintain more parts as per the application demand. As per the application demand. That means whenever traffic is increasing towards your application, you have to increase more parts. You have to increase more parts. So now let me increase three parts. So here we have three parts. So now these three parts can handle 3000 customers traffic, 300 users traffic. So these three parts can handle 300 users traffic. So let me get arrow mark. Let me get arrow mark. Let me take copy, running the application. Let me get user. So that's it. So here in restaurant analogy, we have given a name to these three chefs, group of chefs. Now, anyone can tell me which name can we suggest? Anyone can suggest a name for this group of parts? Here we have group of parts. That means who will maintain this group of parts in Kubernetes cluster? What is the resource name? Anyone have any idea? No, not namespace, not control manager. Who will maintain group of pods in Kubernetes cluster? Not scheduler. No. No, not Prometheus. Why you are telling Prometheus? Prometheus is monitoring tool. Okay, let me explain. There is a resource. There is a amazing resource to maintain group of pods. It is nothing but replica set. It is nothing but replica set. So replica set is responsible to maintain stable set of pods. That means multiple pods. So whenever the replica set is responsible to maintain the parts at any given time. That means 24/7. So for suppose if I want three parts, so this number I have to inform to who to this to the replica set. So then replica set what will do? Replica set will create three parts. For suppose if I want 10 parts, so I have to tell the number 10 to the replica set. Hey, replica set, my application is getting more traffic. Please create 10 parts. So that number you have to tell the replica set. So that means 24/7, replica set keep running 10 parts. For suppose out of 10 parts, one part goes down. One part unfortunately got deleted. So then what will happen? Immediately, replica set will create a new pod. So that is the power of replica set. So that's why we are going with replica set instead of writing pod YAML file. That means whenever you want to use replica set, you don't need to write any pod YAML file. Not required to write any pod YAML file pod if you are going with replica set. So let me explain more about what is mean by replica set. Let me explain more about what is mean by replica set. Now I'm explaining replica set. Look at the screen. See, a replica set purpose is to maintain a stable set of replica parts running at any given time. That means the number, how many parts you want, you have to tell the number to replica set. So the replica set job is to keep running all parts at a time, at any given time, 24/7. Out of 10 parts, if any part goes down, immediately replica set will repair the part. Immediately replica set will create the new part. So you don't get any application downtime. So that is the power of replica set. So the replica set purpose is to maintain stable set of replica parts running at any given time. So this is what is mean by replica set. So now let me explain how can we able to create a replica set. How by using replica set, how we can able to create parts. How can we manage the parts by using replica set. So remember, replicas doesn't know about your container. Remember this thing. Replica set doesn't know about your container, but replica set only knows about your pod only. But pod knows about your container. That means container is going to managing by the pod is going to managing by the replica set. So this is interrelation between replica set, pod, and container. So that let me explain how can we able to write a replica set YAML file. So let me go to the cluster. Let's see what will happen. Okay, cluster got failed. What is the reason? Due to availability zones. See the following availability zones. There is an issue with availability zone. No problem. Let me change availability zone name. Let me create availability zone name. Fail to create cluster. Let me give different name. Okay, let me take, it will take time. Meanwhile, go with the clear code lab. So meanwhile, go with clear code lab. So this is what is meant by replica set. So clear about. So group of chef role will be played by the replica set. A group of chef role will play in Kubernetes cluster. It is about replica set. So this is what is meant by replica set. So replica set is responsible to maintain all to maintain the number of parts we are at any given time, but by 24/7. So let me go for the how we can able to create a replica set. So let me take a killer code of Freelab. Killer code of Freelab. Let me write YAML file. Okay. So first let me complete a complete YAML file. Then I will explain line by line. So whenever you want to write any YAML file, what is the first instruction? API version end with colon. For replica set, API version is not V1. You should use apps /V1. Remember this differentiation. Then kind. So what is our kind? Our kind is replica set. So capital R replica capital S set replica set. Then what next? Metadata. We need to assign a meaningful name to our metadata. So just type the name for suppose my replica. My replica. This is my replica name. Then what next? You should understand about the spec. Already we know about what is meant by spec. See, spec is nothing but specifications. So under the specifications, you need to give two indentation. Just type replicas end with colon. Here you need to tell the number. It is very, very important. So what is meant by replicas in this YAML file? That means you have to tell how many parts you want. The number, if you want 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20, 50, 100, 1000, 1, 10,000, 1 lakh, whatever it may be. The number you have to tell to this YAML file. For suppose I want 10 parts. So I have mentioned the number 10. Now let me complete the YAML file. Then you should use a selector, then give two indentation, then just type match labels. I will explain after completion of this YAML file. Don't bother. Then give two indentation, then just type app, then mention the label name as IPL. Then exactly under selector, just type template end with the column. Exactly under meta template, type metadata, give two indentation, type metadata end with the column. Under metadata, give two indentation, just type labels end with column. Exactly under labels, give two indentation, just type app end with the column IPL. Then exactly under metadata, gives type spec. So here you need to provide our content information. Already yesterday we have discussed how can we define, how can we provide content information in any YAML file. Yesterday we have defined in each of the part YAML file our content information. Same here also I am going to defining containers. Exactly under containers, give two indentation, mention hyphen, the type name, C-1, it is my container name, then image name. Under exactly name, just type image end with colon. So let me get the image name from my Docker registry. Let me log into my Docker Hub account. Let me get Docker image of IPL application. Let me get Docker image of IPL application. So this is my image name. Copy, come to the QR code lab, paste, that's it. Okay, letter M missed here. Okay, now it's correct. Now provide the container port number. So for that, just define ports. Under the ports, give two indentation, mention hyphen, then specify container, capital P, port 80. So you know about first four lines. You know about first four lines and you know about this information, but you don't know about these instructions. So let me explain one by one. See, but spec also you know about specifications. So what is meant by replica set? See, whenever you are going to creating parts by replica set, you should use these instructions, replicas. So by using this replicas instruction, you have to tell the number. So by using this number, replica said here, our kind will create 10 parts for your application. Then what is mean by selector? What is mean by match labels? What is mean by app and IPL? Here there is a one. There is a here in this YAML file. Here same label name I given, same label name IP I given. Why I given IPL, say IPL here and here, same label name? Let me explain what is the purpose of this label. So we will call this label. So why I given label name here same, why I given label name same here? Let me explain. See, we told what is the responsibility of replica set. The replica set is responsible. The main purpose is to maintain stable set of replica parts running at any given time. See, what is the meaning of at any given time? 24/7. Whatever you can do replica set, it is replica set headache. Whatever the replica set want to do, it can do. But 24/7, whenever I check any parts in my cluster, 24/7, I want to run 10 parts. For suppose out of 10 parts, one part goes down. Then how replica set will recognize your part? Because of in cluster, there will be different parts. But how this application part only goes down, how replica set will recognize? So that is the purpose only. Here I given the label name IPL. That means by using this label name, replica set will recognize replica set will identify your part. Okay, whenever any part goes down with this label name, immediately replicas will respond. Yes, just now one part goes down with this label name. I need to create the label name. I need to create another part. For suppose if any part goes down, immediately it will repair that part by using this label name. Okay, fine. About this for defining this label name, we should use selector. We should use match labels. We should use app. So exactly under replica set, define selector. Exactly under selector, give two indentation, then type match labels. In match labels, capital L should be capital, little L. L should be capital. Usually under match label, give two indentation, then mention app. So here you need to provide a label name. The label name, it could be anything. You can go whatever you want. It doesn't matter about. Then my question is, who will assign this label name to your part? Okay, by using this label name, replica will recognize your pod. So any pod goes down, it can recognize your pod. Then it will create new pod. But my question is, who will assign this label name to your pod or on your pod? So for this reason only, we are going to using a template. See, template is nothing but it is going to assign a label name to your on your pod. So that's why I given that's why I'm using a template. Usually under template, give two indentation, then type metadata. Usually under metadata, give two indentation, just type labels. Actually under labels, give two indentation, then type app. Here you need to provide label name. See here, which label name you given? Same label name only. Here you need to give. That means labels name should be matched, should be same, should both same. So if you give different label name, a part will be created, no problem. But whenever any part goes down, that time replica set will not create any part because of there is a conflict between label names. So that's why here and here you should give same name for the labels. So this is for recognizing, this is for replica set recognizing or a part. This is for template is going to assigning this label name on your pod. So this is the purpose of what is mean by this label and this label. So this is how we can able to write a replica set YAML file. So here I am holding a moment. Anyone having any questions regarding this pod YAML replica YAML file, please you can post your question in the chat box. I will answer your questions. Anyone any questions regarding this? Any confusion? Please you can ask in the chat box. I will answer your questions. Yeah. So what is the difference between a replica set and control manager? See, control manager is a component, replica set is a resource. Control manager is a master node component. Replica set is a Kubernetes resource. Any questions from others? Yeah. Sir, the first app is for the replica set and the second app is for the pod. Yes, yes. Any questions? But remember, whenever you are going to writing ML file, indentation part is very, very important. Where we should give space, where we should not give space. You have to be aware of writing any ML file about indentation. On what basis writing of ML file get changed? On what basis writing of ML file get changed? Kind of. You have to define the kind. By changing the kind, ML file you can able to change. Kind will define your YAML file, kind will change your YAML file. Okay, no questions. So let me move on. So let me close this YAML file. Let me run this YAML file. Please explain the API version. See, API version is simple. See, whenever you want to write any YAML file, you should specify your Kubernetes API version. There is API server, right? API server component. So that API version, you have to specify. Simple, just add apps process v1. That's it. You have to remember, for replica set and deployment only, API version is apps process v1. So let me close this YAML file. Give ls. Let me do cat command for this YAML file. Yeah. See, my YAML file has been saved. So let me run this YAML file. See, whenever I run this YAML file, firstly, replica will be created. Secondly, parts 10 parts will be created. So let me do this one also. kubectl apply -f replica set. Hit the enter. See, my replica created. So let me explain how we can able to see replica set. What is the command? kubectl get rs. See, rs stands for replica set. You can write full name or you can use the short form rs. Hit the enter. I can see my replica, my name, then digit number is 10, current number is 10, but ready is only 5 parts are ready. What is the age of replica set? 15 seconds ago. Now you can check again. See, digit number is 10, current number is 10, ready number is 10. That means 10 parts are ready, 10 parts are created, 10 parts are ready. Let me explain how can I see my parts. Same command, yesterday we have discussed it. kubectl get parts. Hit the enter. See, I can say my 10 parts are available. All parts are created, all parts are running. Now age is also 47 seconds ago. Now here you need to focus. Look at the screen. Clearly they are telling the purpose of the replication purpose is to maintain stable set of parts running at any given time. Can we test this at any given time? It is working or not? So if you want test, let me delete some parts. So now I'm going to deleting one part. Let's see whether replica set will create new part or not. It is working or not. It is true or not. So let me do cross check. kubectl. Let me remember, whenever you want to delete any part, the command is kubectl delete, then resource type part, then resource name. What is our part name? Which part you want to delete? I want to delete this first part. So let me paste, hit the enter. So remember the ID. What is the ID? KX7. So let me hit the enter. kubectl delete pod. So it will take time to deleting the pod. How much time, how much duration it is taking? So within the same age will be available in your new pod. Let's see. So it is taking around 10 seconds, 15 seconds, I think 20 seconds. So the age you can see in for new pod. Let me wait. Yeah, see part got deleted. Now let me check kubectl delete kubectl parts. If you look at the screen, 31 seconds ago new part is created. See remaining 9 parts age is 2 minutes 33 seconds. But one part got created newly. It is nothing but 37 seconds ago. That means immediately within a fraction of seconds, Replica will create new part. Let me delete another part. Let's try kubectl delete pod. Let me delete the last one. Let me delete last one. Paste. Hit the enter. kubectl delete pod. It's deleted. It's deleting still. We need to wait. If you want delete more than at a time, I will explain. See, let me check kubectl get pods. See, 41 seconds ago, new pod is created. 41 seconds ago. Here. Now let me explain how we can enable delete all pods at a time. kubectl delete pods hyphen all. This is the command. It will delete all pods at a time. kubectl delete pods hyphen all. Let's see whether Replica will create new pods or not. Within a fraction of seconds. There is no any latency. You don't get any application downtime. That is the power of Replica set. If you go with pod ML file, if any pod goes down, you manually have to create new pod. So pod cannot create another pod by itself. That's why we are going with Replica set. So this is what Kubernetes feature, auto healing. Now let me check if you'll get pods. See, all pods are created 39 seconds ago, 38 seconds ago, 39 seconds ago. So this is how Replica is going to handling, maintaining a stable set of pods running at any given time. So let us discuss how can we get all kubectl get all. Hit the enter. See, I can see 10 pods. I can see my replica set as well. So now let me explain. Now my application is getting more traffic. That means 10,000 users are visiting my application. 10,000 users are visiting my application. So if I want to manage, if I want to handle my application demand, if I want to handle 10,000 user traffic, how many parts? What I need to do? I have to scale up my parts. I have to scale up my parts. So how can I scale up my parts? So it is simple. Just go to your cluster. Just go to your cluster. Go to your cluster. Open the YAML file. Open the YAML file. Whenever you are getting more traffic your application, you should increase the more parts. So how can you do that? That means open the YAML file, change the number. For suppose I want to increase 10 more parts. That means totally 20 parts. So the number you have to change. That is the thing you have to remember. If you want to increase more number, if you have to increase more parts, tell the number how many parts you want to increase. So now I want to increase up to 20 parts. So let me save the file. Now let me run the YAML file. So whenever you have done any changes in your YAML file, immediately you have to run your YAML file. Then only your changes will be applied. Don't forget to run your YAML file after any changes. Hit the enter. See, now it is showing configured, not created. Why? Because of my journey has been configured. So let me check kubectl get pods. kubectl get pods. See, 10 new pods created 13 seconds ago, 12 seconds ago, 13 seconds ago, then 13 seconds ago, 12 seconds ago. See, 10 more pods. Totally 20 pods are running. For suppose, let me delete all pods again. kubectl delete pods all. Hit the enter. See, all pods are going to deleting, but within a fraction of seconds, new pods will be created by the replica set. That is the power of replica set. So this is all about how can you scale up. For suppose traffic is decreasing your application, traffic is decreasing towards your application. You need to reduce parts because of if you need to reduce cost to your client. So that means whenever traffic is decreasing, you have to scale down your parts. So how can you scale down? Again, you have to open the YAML file. Again, you have to open the replication YAML file. You have to change the number. So let me check QCL get parts. See, new pods are created. New pods are created within a fraction of seconds. So now I want to now my application is getting less traffic. That means traffic is decreasing my application. So I don't want maintain. I don't want keep running 20 parts. So only 5 parts will be enough. 5 parts are enough. Let me open the YAML file. Come to the YAML file. Come to here. Change the number 5 parts. That means I'm going to scaling down my parts as per my application demanding. Which will apply -f, then application YAML file. Hit the enter. See configured. Now you can check kubectl get parts. 5 parts will be run. 5 parts will be run. Remaining 15 parts are terminating. Let me check. You see, only 5 parts. Here 2 parts are running. Here 1 part is running. Here 1 part is running. 4 parts. Here 5th part is running. Remaining parts are terminating. Remaining parts terminating because of the data set number. The number I have changed inside the replica YAML file. So this is why we are going with replica set. So it will take time to terminate old parts. To terminate old part. Yeah, see, extra 15 parts got deleted. Only 5 parts are running. For suppose again you have to increase the number. Just simple. Open the YAML file. Let's change the number. Apply the YAML, run the YAML file. Then you can check if you get parts. That's it. So this is what is mean by replica set. How we can able to write a YAML file of replica set. How we can able to scale up our parts. How we can able to scale down our parts. Now let me explain how can we describe the replica set. Yesterday we have discussed how can able to describe a pod. So see, now for replica set also, let me explain how can we describe the replica set. So simple as pod only. kubectl describe rs replica set. Then your replica set name replica. Hit the enter. See, it has been described. It is giving events also. So what is the replica set name? My-replica. Namespace is default. Label is IPL. Then labels and annotations are none. Replica count is 5 current. Part status is 5 running. Part label also. See, part template. This is the label. Container name is C1. This is the image name. Port number, host port number, environment, mount, something are there. See, events. See, replicas control created the pod. Replicas control created this pod, this part, this part, this part, this part. So this is how replicas how we can able to describe a pod. So this how we can able to describe replica set. So this is what is meant by replica set. So now let me move on another concept of Kubernetes. So this is what is so here I didn't write any pod YAML file, but I can see my pods. So you don't whenever you are going with replica set, you don't need to manage your pod YAML files directly. You can use replica sets. So let me come to the okay. Now time is 8 to take a break for 15 minutes. Everyone come back by 8:17. Go for a break, everyone. Come back by 8:17. Hey guys, I hope you came back. Can someone confirm? Yeah. So let's move on. So now we are discussing about replica set. What is the time lab? Okay, 20 minutes. Okay. So this is how can able to describe replica set. So now let me explain how can we delete replica set. Let me. So we have done scale up, scale down, and deletion of parts. How replica set is going to creating the parts, and all these things we have seen so far. So let me explain how can we delete the how to delete a replica set. kubectl get rs. Then let me explain kubectl delete rs, then mention your replica name. What is my replica name? My hyphen replica. Mention the name replica. That's it. Hit the enter. See, replicas got deleted. Automatically, part also will be deleted because of replicas is going to managing our parts. If replicas is not, if replicas got deleted, automatically our part will be deleted. So let me check if it get all. Yeah, see, parts are terminating. If you do
Listen, actually,
parts
screen.
are terminating. Oh, sorry. I forgot to share my screen. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Yeah, sorry guys. I'm extremely sorry. Yeah, so the command is what I explained so far. Look at the screen. So far we have discussed how can able to scale up our parts, scale down our parts, how we can able to delete the parts, how replication is going to creating the new parts whenever any part got deleted. So now I want to delete replica set. So this is the command. Whenever you want to delete any replica set, the command is kubectl delete, then rs replica set, then mention your replica set name. See here it is showing replicas.apps, my replica deleted. So now after deleting your replica set, automatically your parts will be deleted. So that's why I have checked the command using kubectl get all. See, parts are terminated. There is no any replica set as well. It's a default service. Now let me check again kubectl get all. See, nothing is there. Everything got deleted. Only default service is available. So this is how replica is going to managing our parts. So now come to the our restaurant analogy. Let me come to the our restaurant analogy. Let me remove everything. Let me remove. That's it. So let me explain with restaurant analogy. Yeah. Yeah. So now my question is, there is a requirement. The restaurant management. Oh, 1 second. So the restaurant management want introduce new recipe. There is a restaurant management. The restaurant management want to introduce new recipe to their restaurant customers. New recipe. So, but the question is, whenever restaurant wants to introduce a new recipe to the restaurant customers, so before that, chefs need to train. Without giving training about new recipe, chefs cannot prepare about new recipe. So similarly, here also, who will train about this recipe to the chefs? That means by themselves chefs cannot prepare or cannot learn, cannot train about the new recipe. That means what are the how many what are the ingredients we have to use, what are the things we have to follow, what are the arrangements we need to make available to prepare this new recipe. Because of by themselves the chefs will not train, will not learn about the new recipe. Then my question is, who will train these chefs about new recipe? Can anyone can answer my question? Anyone can guess? Who will train about new recipes to the chefs? Because by themselves, chefs cannot learn about new recipes. They need one resource person to train about new recipes. Simple. You know the answer. Who is the resource person? Who will train about new recipes to the chefs within the restaurant? Just do guess, random guess. Do you right or wrong? No problem. Just do random guess. Market analyzer do as trainer. Market analyzer how can train about chef, about cooking. Market analyzer don't know about cooking, how to cook. Yes, Mahbub Basha told senior most. Yes, that means if you go to any university hostel, if you go to any college hostel, definitely there will be a head cook. Definitely there will be a junior chef, junior cooks, and also definitely there will be a head cooks or master chef. So here also, restaurant management need to maintain one head cook. Need to maintain one head cook. So let me get the head cook or master chef for the restaurant. Let me get, so he is the master chef. Where he is the master chef. He is the master chef. He is the master chef. Let me name it head chef or master chef. So now restaurant management, there is not require now restaurant management no need to communicate the single chef, no need to communicate this group of chefs directly they will communicate to whom they will contact, or they will communicate headmaster, head chef or master chef. Hey master chef, hey head cook, please please I want to introduce new recipe to my customers, to my restaurant customers. Please train your junior chefs. So the head cook knows everything. The master chef knows things very well. So that's why restaurant management no need to contact, no need to train about to junior chefs about the new recipe. So here also that means new features. So now how can we compare this new recipe with with our Kubernetes cluster? Let me explain. See, there is application. There is IPL application is running already. I have deployed one IPL application in my cluster. So my IPL application running three parts. So by using three parts, IPL application running. But after, if you take any application in real time, after a few weeks, every week there will be a new releases. Every week there will be a new features. That means every week development team will added new features to your existing application. So that time who will deploy these new features to the application in the cluster? So replica set already I told why replica set will not do this job, because replica set job is only to creating the parts. So the replica set doesn't know about a container. But who knows about your container? Pod only. But we are not creating, we are not going with pod by a single pod, but we are going with replica set only. Replica set doesn't know about container. Replica set knows only about the pods. Now my question is, who will deploy these changes? Who will deploy these new features to the application? That means who will play master chef role in Kubernetes cluster? Who will play master chef role in Kubernetes cluster? Anyone can guess? So that means why we are going with why restaurant management is going to hire maintaining a master chef, because of he knows everything. Whenever restaurant management want to introduce new recipes, whenever you want new thing, the master chef only knows everything. The master chef can handle junior chefs, group of chefs. So you don't, the restaurant management no need to contact this group of chefs directly. They can contact master chef because of he knows things very well. So similarly, pod cannot handle new releases. Replica set cannot handle new releases. Then who will handle? That means who will deploy whenever you want deploy, whenever you want to deploy new features to your application which is already running in cluster. Who will deploy? Who will handle these updates? We will call rolling updates. So who will handle? Answer the question. See, selector in YAML file will play head group work. No. Don't bring YAML file. Don't bring YAML file in this context. It's completely different. There is another resource. What is the resource? That means who will handle? We need to handle rolling updates. So whenever you want to update your application, whenever you want to deploy new releases to your application, we need one resource. That means who will play master chef role in Kubernetes cluster? Anyone can guess what is the resource name? Who will handle these things? As master chef or master cook knows things very well. No Docker container, no. Not control manager. Let me explain. That is all about deployment. So we have a resource deployment. So there is a resource name is deployment. So let me explain what is mean by deployment in Kubernetes cluster. So why we are going with deployment instead of having a replica set? Because of replica set cannot handle rolling updates. So that's why we are going with replica deployments. But deployments can handle rolling updates. So let me explain what is meant by deployment. See, clearly they are telling deployment manages a set of pods to run an application workload. So that means deployment can manage or can run entire your application workload, and also deployment can manage a set of parts. So it is already we have discussed who will manage the set of parts. Already here we discussed about replica set. So replica set is also can maintain a stable set of replica parts running. But here deployment also it is telling, here deployment is telling I also can manage a set of parts. That means whenever you are going with deployments, you don't need to create a replica set. It's not required. So that is the power of deployment. That means deployment only can manage. He clearly they are telling a deployment provides declarative updates. See what is mean by declarative updates? Whenever you want to update your application, whenever you want to deploy new releases, this is what is meant by declarative updates. That means deployment clearly can provide declarative updates to whom? For pods and for replica sets. That means whenever you are going with the deployment, you don't need to write any pod YAML file. You don't need to write any replica set YAML file. That means deployment only can manage your pods. Deployment only can manage your replica set. So that's why we are going with deployment. So here, restaurant management. The restaurant management is not no need to contact the single chef. No need to contact group of chefs. Directly, they can manage master chef. So similarly, in a Kubernetes cluster, whenever you want to deploy any application, you don't need to manage any single pod. You don't need to manage any replica set. Just directly you can go for creation of deployment. Deployment only can manage your pod, your replica set. Replica set will manage your pod. Pod can manage your container can manage your application. So this is the scenario workflow. Whenever you deploy any application in a cluster, firstly you should create a deployment will create a replica set will create a pod will run your container will run your application code which is available inside the container. So this is a scenario how to remember. So that's why we are going with deployment. So clear about what is meant by deployment. The major purpose of deployment is to handle rolling updates. That means whenever restaurant management want to introduce new features, they have to manage master chef. So similarly in Kubernetes cluster, whenever you want to deploy any new features, new releases, new deployments, you should go with the deployment only. In the Kubernetes cluster, or deployment only can handle rolling updates or rolling outs. So this is why we are going with deployment. So now let me explain how can we able to create a deployment. Let me go with our cluster. Okay, cluster is not created, no problem. So let's continue with this lab only. So let me explain how we can able to write a deployment YAML file. So this is what is mean by deployment. So I think everyone clear about what is mean by deployment. Yeah. So let me explain how to write a deployment YAML file. Simple. It very simple. Just open the replica. Let me change. Let me open the replica YAML file. Simple. Let me open the replica YAML file. You just need to change kind. Remaining everything is same. For replica set, for deployment, everything is same. You just need to change the kind. So you need to replace deployment, capital D. Deployment. So replace, change the name as well. My deployment. That's it. So everything is same. So let me close this YAML file. So you know about already we have discussed about what is this YAML file. So you just need to you just need to change the deployment in kind. So let me save this YAML file, and also let me change the file name mv, then mention old file name, then mention deployment file. Let me change the file name because of it's a deployment YAML file. Hit the enter. Give ls. Okay, file name has been changed. So now let me run this YAML file. Let's see how deployment is going to managing replica sets, how replica set is going to managing parts, how part is going to managing our container. So let me explain. That means whenever you are going to creating deployment, firstly deployment will be created, then replica set will be created, then parts will be created. Inside the part, your container will be run. So let me explain how we can able to create deployment. Same kubectl apply -f, then deployment YAML file name. Hit the enter. See deployment dots app by my deployment created. Now let me check. How can you check deployments? Whether deployment is created or not? What is the command? kubectl get deployments, enter. Now I can see my -, deployment name. The ready state is 5 by 5. Why? Because of inside the deployment YAML file, I given replicas count or desired number is 5 only. So that's why here I can say ready is 5 by 5, up to date is 5, available parts also 5, age is 60 seconds. Now you can check kubectl get all. You can see your parts, you can see your deployments, you can see your replica sets. Hit the enter. See, now my five new parts created 48 seconds ago. The deployment is available 48 seconds ago. Replica set. My deployment ID replica set. But I didn't create any YAML file for replica set. I didn't write any YAML file for part. But I only written YAML file for deployment. But I can see parts, I can see replica sets, I can see deployment. So this is why we are going with deployment. So this is the main purpose of deployment. So let me explain how can we do rolling updates. So I think lab is going to expiring. Just wait. Before that, let me copy this YAML file. We need to understand about rolling updates. How deployment is going to do rolling updates. It's very, very important. Okay, copied. Let me keep it somewhere. Okay, let me check. Okay, it's expired. Lab has been expired. Let me open a new. Let me take a new lab again. Yeah. Okay, let me create a deployment YAML file. Deployment.yml. Give right click. Paste your deployment YAML file. Yeah. See, now I'm going to creating deployment YAML file. Deployment. Let me increase the number. Replicas number. Now close, save and close the file. kubectl apply -f. See, it's created. Now check kubectl get all. See, part 10 parts are creating, container creating. This is the deployment. This is the replica set. So 6 seconds ago, it has been created. But what is the part age? 5 seconds ago. So firstly, deployment replica will be created. Secondly, parts will be created. Now check kubectl get all. Yeah, see, all parts are running. So now can we do cross check? If can we delete any parts? Let's try. Deployment is going to handle or going to managing replicas and parts. Can we do cross check? Let me explain. Let me delete some parts. kubectl. Let me delete all parts. kubectl delete parts --- all. Yeah, all parts are going to deleting. Let's see. Deployment has to manage replica set and pods. Let's do cross check. Still it is deleting the pods. Okay, it got deleted. Now you check. Let me check. You should get all. See, parts has been created 42 seconds ago. All 10 parts created. So this is the way we are going with deployment. So you don't need to create. You don't need to write any YAML file for replica set. You don't need to write any YAML file for pod. So that's why we are going with deployment. So now, can we do rollout? Rolling updates. I want to update a new image. That means rolling update means whenever you want to deploy any new releases to your application, you should build a new Docker image. That new Docker image you have to update inside the deployment YAML file. This is what rolling updates. So let me get another Docker image. Let me get another Docker image from a Docker registry. I want to deploy Netflix application. So let me get Netflix Docker image. So I'm going to do rolling updates. Let's see how deployment is going to handle rolling updates. Okay. Before copying this image, let me explain how can we describe deployment. It is very, very important. So let me explain kubectl describe deployment, then deployment name. This is my deployment name. I copied, let me paste, hit the enter. See, if you look at the screen, I described my deployment here. Command is available here. So the deployment name is my-deployment. Namespace is default. When it was created, annotations, label, replicas count 10, rolling update, nothing, 0. Yeah, rolling update strategy, 25 max available, 25 max search, labels IPL, container name is C1, image name, remember the image name. Here it is showing Morley Social 123 IPL-app latest. So now I want to rolling update. So let me explain how can we do rolling update. So open the deployment YAML file. Open the deployment YAML file. In real time, what will happen usually? Whenever you want to deploy new releases, new features to your application, every time you have to build a new Docker image. After building a new Docker image, you have to update the Docker image inside the deployment YAML file. This is what we will call deploying new releases, rolling updates. So let me remove the old image. Let me remove the old image. Let me get a new image. Okay, I copied. Come to the Killer Code lab, give right click, let me paste. So that's it. So let me escape, click on the escape, WQ, $WQ, give ls. So now let me run the YAML file. I told you whenever you did any changes in any YAML file, if you want to apply those changes, you need to run the YAML file. Then only changes will be applied. Now let me hit the enter. So you can see deployment configured. That means my new Docker image has been applied. See, I had done successfully rolling update by using deployment. Now let me check kubectl get all. See, old parts are terminating, new parts are creating. That means new image, new application, new feature. So this is how deployment is going to handling rolling updates. So that's why we are going with deployment. So I want to cross check whether my new Docker image is updated or not. So how can I believe? For this you have to check the you have to describe any one of the pod, and also you can describe deployment. Either you can describe either deployment or pod. So let us describe pod. kubectl describe pod. I want to describe this new pod. Copy the name of the new pod, paste it, hit the enter. You can see image name. What is the image name here? It is showing Netflix -25.v1 latest. But it is not showing IPL application. So this is how we can do rolling updates. So this is all about how we can able to rolling updates. Now I want rollout. That means I want to switch back to my previous application. How can I do that? But you don't need to change your Docker image. Without changing your Docker image, you can easily roll out to your previous application, previous version. So how can you do that? So that's why we are going with deployment. So let me explain. This is all about, so far we have done rolling update. Now I'm going to explaining how can we do rollout. That means how can able to switch back to the previous application. So let me explain. The command is kubectl rollout undo, then your deployment name. What is the deployment name? Come to here. Copy this deployment name, come down, give right click, paste it. This is a command. kubectl rollout undo. Now hit the enter. See, it is showing rolled back. Now can you cross check whether it is rolled back or not? Let me explain. If it is clearly showing rolled back. If I describe any one of the part, it should visible IPL-app application in Docker image, not Netflix. So let me check kubectl get all. kubectl get all. So let me explain how kubectl describe. Let me describe kubectl describe pod. So let me describe any one of the pod. Let me describe this pod. You can see IPL-app latest. But if you do cat command, your deployment ML file, Netflix image is available, but here it is running a IPL application. So this is how can we do rolling update and rolling updates and rollout. So these rolling update, rollouts, deployment only can handle. Replica cannot handle. That's why we are going with deployment. So regarding deployment, anyone having any questions, please you can ask. So far, anyone having any questions, please you can ask. How many undo can we do? How many rollbacks we have did? Based upon the rolling updates, you can do undos. How many times you did rolling updates? Same count you can do undos. See, rolling update is, let me explain rolling. See, rolling update is nothing but You have to change Docker image inside the deployment YAML file. That's it. There is no any magic. Open the deployment YAML file, change the Docker image, then run the YAML file. That's it. That is all about rolling update. Anyone, any questions so far? Sir, if deployment will do all things, then what is the need of replica set? That's why we don't. That's why I didn't create any replica set. I didn't write any YAML file for replica set. Okay, your question is deployment will do all these things, but what is the need of replica set? But deployment will not create parts, right? Who will create parts? For suppose if any part goes down, who will create new part? Deployment won't do these things. Deployment can manage only your replica set and parts. Deployment cannot create your parts. If any part goes down, deployment doesn't know about your part. Deployment don't create any part. So that's why we need replica set. So that's why we are going to managing replica set with the help of deployment. And where does where does it keep track of previous version? You can describe it. That's it. You can describe your pod or your deployment. You can able to get the version. Sir, just tell me in simple like what is pod exactly. See, pod is responsible to manage the container where actually our application is going to run. Inside the pod only, our application is going to run, is going to deploy. It is the responsibility of to manage container. That is a simple definition of pod about pod. It's a smallest developable unit. Any other questions? Anyone having any questions, please, you can post in the chat box. I can answer your questions. Okay, it is clear, everyone. Okay, let's move on. So let's move on. Go to the restaurant analogy. Yeah. See, so far we have discussed about pod, replica set, deployment. So far we have discussed about the pod, replica set. Yeah. So we have deployed so far. We have discussed so far deployment. Deployment can manage replica set. Replica set can manage pod. Pod can manage container. Container can manage your application. So now let's continue with our restaurant analogy. Let's continue with our restaurant analogy. Restaurant analogy. Yeah. Just look at the screen. Just look at the screen. There is a user. There is a customer. The customer went to the customer is inside the restaurant. Inside the restaurant. So can you tell me if you go to any restaurant, if you go to any hotel, who will bring food to you? Who will bring food to the customer? Let me check. Waiter. Yes, waiter is responsible to bring the food to the customer. Why only waiter need to bring the food? Customer? Why not customer go to the kitchen directly, bring the food? Why? What is the reason? My question is, okay, waiter only will bring the food to the customer. Why? Only waiter. Why customer not go to? Because of they gave specific work. Okay, it is considerable. Any other guess? It is considered, that's right. Any other guess? Okay, let me move on. So let me explain. So let me get one kitchen. This is the kitchen in the restaurant. Inside the restaurant, there will be a chef. Inside the restaurant, there will be because of they don't have permission. So that means customer don't have access to go directly to go to the restaurant. So that's why the restaurant is going to hire. The restaurant management will hire one waiter or server. So let me. Okay. So let me keep it here. Let me name it waiter. Waiter. So there will be a waiter. So waiter only will bring the food to the customer. Why? Because of customer don't have permission. Customer don't have access to go to directly to the kitchen. So that's why we are going with waiter. So now my question is, there is a deployment here. My deployment is available here. Here in my cluster, I have one deployment. This is my deployment. Inside the deployment, I have my pod. Inside the deployment, my pod is running. Let me get a replica set better. This is my replica set. Inside the deployment, replica set is there. Inside the pod, or inside the replica set, our pod is running. Our pod is running. Okay. Now let me get. So user is available here. User is available out of the cluster because out of the cluster. Now application is available here. Application is running here, but user is available out of the cluster. Then how customer can able to access the application? How customer can able to access the application? That means who will play a better role in a Kubernetes cluster? Who will play a better role in Kubernetes cluster? Anyone can guess who will? That means okay, application is deployed. Application is successfully deployed in Kubernetes cluster. But how can I access the application? How can I access the application? Who will play a better role? Anyone can guess? No, not browser. Browser, your cluster don't know about your browser. Kubernetes cluster don't know about your browser. Okay, this is the task for you tomorrow. Everyone, before coming the class, please get the answer for this question. Who will, how customer can able to access the application? That means who will bring, who will serve the application to the end user. This is the task tomorrow you have to explore. No, not container, not container. I didn't explain that resource name. There is a resource. I didn't explain that resource name as well. So you don't know about. Please explore and answer my question tomorrow. Not REST API, not REST API. Okay, guys, please take a moment. Please try to explore about this question. Get the answer for this question by tomorrow class. Tomorrow we will discuss about who will do this job. That means who will play a better role, not developer, not developer. Thank you for your responses. Tomorrow we'll discuss about on this. Thank you, guys. Thank you. See you next class. Good night. Bye.